Hey, what's going on everyone? I'm the OPJellicent and we're battling here for week number 6 in the IBL D-League, up against DrSlaking and his Bowland Bovines. You may have remembered me saying last week that that matchup was bad. This one is a lot worse, to put it cleanly right there. So, they let this guy get Coco Kyurem Black. Unfortunately, he did not bring Kyurem Black. I kind of hoping he would, because I have a few Pokemon in this team. Kind of meant to respond to that thing, but that's okay. I guess it frees them up a little bit more to do other things right here. Just from preview alone, I think he brought Gligar. That's tough. Wish I had HBS on my Thundy now. He didn't bring Gastrodon. So I'm actually bringing a really unique win condition this week in Agility and Empoleon. I'm going to write down his team and then probably lead off with Megalopunny, right? Megalopunny makes sense. Empoleon. So I guess my Conkeldurr resist would be the Landers. I'm writing down my own team. What am I doing? Okay, let me pick a lead first. I'm like all over the place right now. So Mega Pinsir is a problem. I'm assuming he wants rocks up like as soon as possible. I think just as a lead right here, I really like Megalopunny. I don't really see what stops it. I guess Coco could be annoying. I guess Conkeldurr could be annoying too. I could go for my own rocks right away. I think I'm going to lead Goodra here. And my mindset behind leading Goodra is, worst case scenario is he leads Conkeldurr, right? But if he leads off with Conkeldurr, I could maybe just get rid of it right away. I could see that working out. So let's lead off with this here, and then I'll write down his team once we get into the game. I have counter on my Goodra, and it is max HP, max defense, so... obviously I know that's kind of, weird because you want to take damage for counter to work, but I was learning the calcs, and counter kind of does the job anyway. I'll take enough damage to the point where... they'll take enough damage to the point where they're not a threat. I don't know what that means. Leghorn, Coco... Alright, fun. So this isn't a Zmon, so let me write down their team. Coco, Pinsir, Conk, I'm pretty sure I saw Greninja, then Gligar. So I think they would be pressured to U-turn here. Man, I wish they were let off with Lopunny now. Rotom Cut. Rotom Cut's something I actually need gone too. Rotom Mo it is. Okay, so, here, they should just go for U-turn. If I want to switch out, it would be Reuniclus, and I don't really like the Reuni play. If they're switching out, it would be into... maybe Gligar, maybe Conk. Dragon Pulse is like a safe neutral play, I guess. Unless they stay in, which would be kind of lame. What do I want to do here? I kind of want to go for the Dragon Pulse, expecting a U-turn. You don't stay in, right? Yeah, they're going for U-turn. I'm going for Dragon Pulse and making the play here. I understand Goodra's value, but even if they stay in and, do something to me, they're not the most threatening Pokemon, and I really want to hit whatever comes in as hard as I can, so... if it forces Gligar to roost, that's amazing right here. And I would much rather do this play right here than actually try to do anything else. Like I said, they're not Fairy MZ. If they go for Dazzling Gleam, I will take a good amount from it. I will completely acknowledge that right here, but... yeah, they go for Volt Switch, so that's going to do very little, as you guys are going to see right here. And something's taking a Dragon Pulse now, so I'm glad I made that offensive read right away. I think that could very well pay off, especially because they're probably not going to expect it. They would expect an Earthquake here, if anything. Damage on Rotom Cut's amazing, because that's one of the things stopping my Agility Rotom. So they did, what, 19 with that? 18, I think it was 18. Goodra against a Coco. Volt Switch would have done... okay, that's level 100. It's level 100. Okay, so Volt Switch would have done... it looks like they're probably very not bulky. Okay, so if I want Empoleon to work, I gotta get my rocks up. Let's see what they switch in. I'm hoping to see Rotom, or maybe random Conkeldurr. That would be amazing. I'm countering if Conkeldurr comes in. I'm taking the hit and then trying to knock that out, because that thing is... one of the things that can Mach Punch my win condition being my Empoleon, and I really want to get the Empoleon win. Yeah, this team is kind of all over the place. I'm sure you guys might have noticed based on the team builder, which I should have uploaded one, because, I had 2 exams this week, and I kind of didn't have a lot of time to prep for this, but enough complaining. Let's try to win here. They're trying to figure out what they want to bring in, and I don't really see what they would want to. Is that Gligar? It is indeed a Gligar, so... they have to acknowledge the fact that I could go for an Ice Beam this next turn. That is a good amount, too. That's not bad damage. I don't want to take a hit with this. I really don't want my knockoff. I don't want to knock off into my Landers either, but at the same time, if they're getting up rocks, I want to get my own up, and if they're switching out to take an Ice Beam, it would be into Conkeldurr anyway, so I'm going to go Mike here. My Landers T. Worst case, I take a knockoff or Toxic, but then I get up my rocks, which pressures the Pinsir. It'll put the Coco in range of Surf, probably. I could see all those working out, so I'm going to go out into my Landers right here. Like, worst case, they go for a U-turn, right? But I'm not overly stressed out about a U-turn. Another reason why I'm keeping Goodra healthy is because I really want that counter to work. That would be so cool to see. I nearly clicked a turn 1 too, expecting a U-turn, but they went for Volt. Which I guess makes sense. I don't know what my ground type is. It's my Landers T, which I'm assuming they have maybe a Shika Berry or something to take a hit. That Volt Switch, by the way, did no damage. That's bulky Coco. I'm really confused. How much did it do? 16? It doesn't say there's a roll on here for 16. No, there is a roll for 16. If they're max special attack, which I don't know if they would be, there's not a roll for 16. The max, it would do 17 if they're max special attack. So they do make the grand play right here, which is a little bit unfortunate. They were anticipating They were clearly anticipating a what's it called? An Ice Beam. So, I mean, this is okay. I have two plays. I go back to Goodra or I go back to Reuniclus. Let's calc Goodra against Ice Beam. Greninja. I think this was a Zmon. Let's calc Ice Punch too while we're at it. Tough play here. I'm gonna go back to Goodra. It's my safest switch-in. I'm trying to lure that Pinsir, and I think Goodra can do it. So, I mean, I've weakened the Gligar, which is really okay. It's not really gonna help me out a ton. What would my Z move be useful for here? I guess catching this, although it's gonna die to Thunderbolt anyway. It could also hit the Conch a little bit harder than Thunderbolt, I guess. That's a thing. I'm glad I put Sludge Wave on it. That's going to be useful for Rotom and Coco. So let's get out of here. I'm hoping to see a U-turn into Pinsir. There's a U-turn. That's not going to do a lot. That did not a lot, as I'm sure you guys noticed. So Conquer, Pinsir come out, and I'm going to counter whatever comes in, and it's going to be a good time. Because Pinsir is a problem. And I wouldn't anticipate the SD. If they do, worst case, I'll go Landers after. What if they go Pinsir and click Stealth Rocks or something dumb? That would be so lame. So I'm assuming Gligar might be their Landers response. Unfortunately, I got rid of Knockoff at the last second. I switched it out for U-turn, which is kind of lame. So the reason I'm not as pressured to get up rocks with my Landers is because I actually have Copycat on my Mega Lopunny. I'm assuming that Gligar might be one of their better responses to that Pokemon. This is the Gligar again. Are they going for U-turn? Like, what's happening here? I'm going back to Landers. Like, I don't mind taking a Toxic or Knockoff, but I don't want this thing getting too weakened. I'm assuming a Rocks would be their play. Sorta wish I had the thing. Oh, this thing gets Hyper Cutter. There's a knock. This thing's going to take some Helmet Chip. I will gladly take that. So do I need my Rocks up? They are nice, but I think... yeah, I want my Rocks up. It's best for my win condition. And then you turn out into... probably... what would I U-turn out into? Probably Reuniclus after that. Yeah, so let's just get them up. I think Rocks are worth it here. Man, this is going to be a tedious one, I can already tell. How much is Pinsir taking from Surf? I need to calc that too, because if I need prior damage on that, that's important. Empoleon after an Agility. I mean, not that the Agility would make a difference. Surf is doing 60 to 70. So I do need a bit of Rocks chip on that too. So that's why these Rocks are nice. Man, if only I had Knockoff, that would be amazing. They could Toxic here, I guess, which, I mean, Toxic would be annoying. Yep, Rocks, nice. They just go for Roost. Okay, so, I mean, this is where they would defog if they have it. This is where I get my momentum out. Because they would either go for Toxic or a Roost here. And I don't value my Reuniclus at all, because they didn't bring the Kyurem, and that's what it was meant for. So I'm going to go for a U-turn here. Keep Landers as healthy as possible for the Pinsir. Defog should be their click. I don't know what else would make sense here. I'm not going Empoleon. I could go... I mean, I'm just going to go Reuniclus. It's, like, it's an okay play. Like, I can knock off something which would be valuable. I actually Toxic this, which is, I mean, okay with me. Because, like I said, I don't value this, and I'm going to get regen health anyway. So, like, it's not the end of the world if they Toxic this thing. Yeah, I don't value this Pokemon, so I'm going to go right here for a knockoff. If they go for U-turn, I'll scout whatever item they have on Greninja or whatever wants to come in. Coco cannot be Z, so getting rid of that thing's item is going to be good too. Greninja's a threat though. I mean, I need to maybe keep this out of range of Dark Pulse if I can. Because I've let Goodra take a little bit of damage so far. Let me calc. How much am I going to be doing with my attacks after this thing's item gets knocked off? Gligar. Oh, they actually do go for U-turn. Okay. So, I mean, my rocks are up. Psychic. Psychic actually does a lot after the Eviolate's gone. Hello? I guess not a ton. 50 to 59 if they have no Eviolate. I mean... Catch and knock off, it's something here. Give me a Rotom, that would be best. That's the Coco. So this thing can't be Z, which means I'm about to find out what it is. Leftovers. That's an interesting item. I really hope they aren't Scarf Greninja, that would be lame. I'm going to switch out here for the regen into Goodra again. I'm still trying to lure Pinsir. I really want that thing gone. And like I said, keeping Reuniclus healthy could be valuable. It's one of my Rotom cut responses. Okay. Doesn't do a ton. Here, I'm just going to click... I mean, I just Dragon Pulse again. I wouldn't imagine you stay in, like... Yeah, you Volt Switch, so... Something's catching a Dragon Pulse again. I'm assuming it's the Gligar, because that Gligar is really annoying. So that means they probably have Roost on that Coco, because it was leftovers, and it's a very bulky Coco, as we saw. Yep, here we go. This thing wants to come back in, obviously. Wish I had Ice Beam. That'd be so nice here. Okay, I want to somehow force this out. What am I doing here? Thunders won't help me. It could bluff, but it's not going to help me in the long run. I'm just going to go back to Reuniclus here. It has regen. It'll take whatever. It'll take a knockoff. They didn't actually recover it, which is amazing. Yeah, I'll totally take a dot being recovered. That's really good for me. Greninja... I didn't actually calc the U-turn damage. So they're really capitalizing on U-turn momentum here, but... How fast is Gligar, by the way? To 85. It can roost on my Goodra. That's annoying. Yep, so here's this. I think I just Psychic it. Like, it's not going to appreciate a Psychic by any means. I'm just going to Psychic here, see what they want to do. There's the defog. Okay, so this thing's probably defog, Roost, Volt Switch. HP Ice, is that their set? Took a lot. Electricity disappears. I'm gonna go for an energy ball here in case they want to go Greninja, I guess. I mean, they could just roost, which wouldn't be very helpful for me. Do I make the energy ball play or not? I'm scared. That Greninja's a threat now, that's the thing. And they got rid of my hazards here, which is really tough. I'm gonna do it, let's go for energy ball. Yeah, they go for roost. I should have gone for the psychic, okay. It is what it is. WinCon is still alive, this thing is still in range of my thing. So just roost again here, clearly. Yeah, I don't want to stay in this turn, I'm too weak. Yeah, I don't think I actually have a chance in this battle, I'm not gonna lie. Like, just my win cons alone don't beat theirs. There's a roost. You do not stay in. I mean, it's the same thing. Do I go click Dragon Pulse this time or not? I'll just Dragon Pulse here. They could HP Ice if they really want to. It's not going to help them at all, though. That's the thing. This might be one of my longest battles. We're already 16 minutes in, and it's 6 on 6. There's a Volt Switch. They're going to go right back to that Gligar and do fun things with the Gligar. But this Coco is not at, like, this Coco can't really beat anything anymore. It's too low. And their Lopunny switch-ins are not there. Yeah, there's the Gligar. I did actually do more than last time, huh? I think I like just spamming Dragon Pulse here. No, because they just roost back to full, and it's not going to help me out at all. Okay, let's get in Landers again. I believe if it's 6 on 6, it's whoever has more health on their Pokemon at the end of the game. Or if it's like a tie game, I guess, it would be the thing. Yep, so there's that roost, which we all expected. So this is where the Toxic would come out. I don't think they have Defog on this, though, so I'm going to click Rocks here. I mean, sorry, I don't think they have Defog on this thing. I know they have Toxic on it. So if they have Defog on it, they would go for it now. I'll go for U-turn here. Can I win if I let Empoleon go down? I think I can. I think my Mega Lopunny can do it on its own. Yeah, Mega Lopunny plus Thundurus right here looks really nice after this thing's gone. So I'm gonna expect the roost here and go Empoleon. Because they have so many checks to it, it's kind of sad. There's a U-turn. I mean, so they can go Rotom here, they can go Conk. Conk would take a bit of chip, which I would take. What would the other option be? Pincer, I guess, and Earthquake. They could go Coco, I guess. Coco wouldn't really help them a ton. If they go Coco, I'm just going to kill the Coco. Like, I'm just going to surf it and get that thing out of there. Because I know it's bulky Coco, but I have a Wakan Berry. Yeah, there's the Coco. So healthy. Can I even kill that? They can just Volt Switch if they really want to. Coco. I mean, Surf's doing good damage anyway. Even to like max HP Coco. Still doing like 52 to 62. I'm gonna keep the Wincon alive and go Goodra. No, Goodra's not gonna help me. They just keep on going back to the Gligar. Do I change the pace of the game here, or do I just continue letting everything get poisoned? I'm just gonna surf, like. Yeah, there's a Volt Switch. I do have the Wakan Berry, which is cool. This can still act as a Wincon, which is nice. That still does so much. Okay, so Rotom Cut would be their switch in here. Unless they're anticipating an Ice Beam. We're 20 minutes in and nothing's happened. Like, they've talked like a couple Mons, they've managed to force out what I thought would be my win condition, but I think Mega Lopunny is gonna do the job here. That's the Rotom. So it finally hits the field. There it is. Wish I had Ice Beam. I didn't carry Ice Coverage on anything. I mean, so this can still win, so I'm gonna switch it out. It's much less likely to win now, but it can still do it. Healthiest Coco? It took a bit of rocks damage, I remember that. I'm gonna get in my Magudra here. I would imagine they just Volt Switch, right? That should be their play. Given the fact that Landers wouldn't really help me out at all. Oh no. Come on. I'm gonna get paralyzed. Wow, I didn't get paralyzed. That's crazy. I think I know what I have to do to change the pace of this game. I'm just gonna Dragon Pulse the Gligar until it's super low and then force it out with Lopunny. Yeah, so there's that Volt Switch. Thankfully they didn't get a para. That would have been even worse for me. Here's this thing, as usual. It's actually really low now, which is kind of interesting. Doesn't take too much. They're going for Roost here, so I'm going Mega Lopunny and bluffing Ice Punch. Yep, and I'm gonna start to do something here. I'm getting bored of this. Yeah, I'm clicking sub here. Yeah, they have to switch out. Colin, that's the Conkeldurr, isn't it? Nice, so I finally force out something. Only took too long. Alright, we are in here. It is a leftovers Conkeldurr. So this is good for Empoleon, which is nice. I already have damage on Rotom Cut too. This is possible. Like, I'm gonna hide Jump Kick here just for maximum damage. And then, I mean, they would Mach after, right? Wow, that did nothing. That's a Fizz Def one. I was honestly expecting Fizz Def Uxie for this thing, but I guess that works too. I mean, so here they go for Mach or Drain Punch again. That's going to recover them a bit. Leftovers, okay. so they're just gonna Drain Punch again. I think I go Landers here. You know what's crazy? If I was just Agility Thunders, I think I would have just won this, but I didn't bring that set. Like Agility with Sludge Wave, Thunderbolt, and HP Ice, that would have just won this game. Great knockoff play, but I mean my item's already gone, so it's not gonna help them out a ton here. So I think here what I can do is maybe go for just a U-turn is okay. If they're going for anything, it would be Ice Punch, and that's fine with me. Ice Punch is not the end of the world. I'll get in maybe Reuniclus on that. Man, Bulky Conch is actually a good set. Yeah, so we're just dancing around here. It's been 25 minutes of nothing. I'm sorry, guys. I know this game is not fun. But I don't want to just throw the game just for entertainment value, if that makes sense. Ice Punch, huh? Double knockoff. It actually didn't do a lot. I mean, so this gives me an attack, which is cool. And I just click Psychic. I can live anything, and I don't think they're going hard Grand this time. And like, even if they do, I can switch back to Goodra. Let that thing take a bit more damage and maybe try to get something to do. Maybe try to get Reuniclus to do something later as well. Okay, so I finally put them in a position where they have to either let the Gligar get knocked or make a super offensive switch into Greninja here, which I wouldn't anticipate. They do switch out, probably Gligar, right? Is that Coco? Oh, that's Rotom Cut. This is okay. Took a bit. Slowly getting into that Empoleon range. Here, I think I switch out into Goodra again. Their play would be what? Volt Switch here? Yep, there's a Volt. Is Pinsir finally gonna hit the field after 50,000 years? I don't know, we'll see. I could see Pinsir, I could also see Gligar just again for doing the fun stuff. Oh, this is probably the longest Draft League match I've had in a while. Like, usually they don't take this long. And the funny thing is, had I just cleared ice coverage on things, this game would probably already be over. Like, I Ice Beam the Gligar, and it can't respond to Goodra. They would have to switch out into something else, which nothing else takes hits from it. If I had HP Ice on Thundurus, then I just Agility up and win with that. I just gotta hope that they don't go hard Gligar on my Thundurus. I think that's all I can do. Maybe I'm underestimating Empoleon. Maybe Empoleon can still pull through, and I'm just underestimating that Pokemon. So things I need from Empoleon are damage on Gren and damage on... and a little bit more damage on Rotom. And damage on... I need Conch gone. That's what I need. Although I don't know if it would actually be a... Is that the... That's the Gligar. Yep, here we go. I think I see what I have to do. I click Dragon Pulse again, by the way. Which they may predict that and go out into Coco here. It's either that or Sack Rotom, which... I mean, I could see them sacking Rotom too. Coco is really valuable. So the Rotom cut didn't take a lot from my Psychic. Does that mean it's a Assault Vest Rotom cut? I don't know. At this point, I don't even think I need to calc. I just need to position my Empoleon well. Which, what does it set up on? It doesn't set up on anything. So I'm just throwing off attacks with Empoleon at this point and trying to break with it. Which, I mean, does it take attacks from anything? I guess maybe I could try to pressure the Conkeldurr a bit. How fast is Conk? 50, right? 45. So I might be able to outspeed Conk because it's a bulky Conk, so... The problem with that play is they would just Drain Punch all their health back, but... So Rotom Cut finally goes down. We finally have a Pokemon going down. Surprisingly, it's not off. Never mind. That thing is 100% Assault Vest. Hello, which means it's not the Defogger. Yeah, they're just sucking it off here, which is understandable. We basically traded Pokemon here, so something is finally dead. Hooray. Okay, so worst I'm losing 5-0, which, I mean, is not the end of the world. I actually have them in a position where Mega Lopunny looks super threatening too, because they didn't release the Gligar. Is this finally the Pinsir? Oh, that's the Gran. Okay, so Gran's taking a bit of damage. That means after the next Rock Switch, and it should be in range of a Grass Knot, which could be cool. I mean, so this gets outsped and dies to everything. I'll just take the momentum here. Click Power Whip. That'll knock me out. Okay, so the momentum that I would want on this thing would be Mega Lopunny, I believe. Okay, so High Jump Kick or Return. I think High Jump Kick is my best play, because if they go Conkeldurr, I should be able to 2-hit KO that. And if they go Gligar, it should die to High Jump Kick plus Return anyway, so I'm going to click High Jump Kick here. If Conkeldurr comes in... The only reason I'm actually keeping my Thundurus healthy is because I don't want to lose to Pinsir right away. Do I think, what's my Thundurus coverage again? Thundurus has Thunderbolt, Focus Blast, Sludge Wave. Yeah, I literally cannot touch the Gligar. Mega Lopunny is my win condition. That's all I have to keep in mind here. So there's a switch out, probably to Conk. There's Conkeldurr. I need to hit this or else I'm going to lose right now. Yep, there it is. That's the game. Okay, so I'm going to play for differential now. Just try to get as much as I can. Is it over? If it's Scarf Ground, then it's over. Yeah, I needed to hit that. Maybe I should have just returned it. But return, like, it wouldn't have even done anything. Like, it's clearly a very bulky Conk. So... this is gonna be more. This is gonna be longer than most of my Showdown lives. That's crazy. If they go for knockoff here, good play. I'm making my safest pivot, which is this thing. Ice Punch, I don't mind. I guess they expected Landers. Which means from this range I can take an attack from this. So this is what I need to do. I need to predict the Greninja right now if I really want to win, but I don't think they're going to risk it. I'm just going to Psychic. Because worst case, Greninja comes back and it's finally in range of that Grass Knot, and I have one win condition, being my Empoleon. Setting up on, or honestly just attacking through. Actually, Empoleon Surf looks great here. Now that the Well, Gligar's fast. I would imagine Earthquake probably knocks me out. I should live this. Yep, live it on 4. Psychic. Goodbye. So that's why, like, had my Mega Lopunny been alive right now, I think it just won the game from this position. But it missed high jump kick. It's still alive, but it's not well. So their play here would be Coco. Gonna go Lopunny here. If they go Ground, I'm just gonna zoom it to Scarf and switch out into Empoleon. Oh, finally, here it is. Only took the entire game. I mean, so I can't afford to stay in here. If that Gligar roosts, I can't beat it anymore. I'm going Heart Thunders. Because I don't... First of all, I can't take a Stone Edge. That's a thing, but I cannot. I wouldn't expect a Stone Edge out of all places to come out here. If Greninja is Choice Scarf, Empoleon could in theory take it on late game, depending on what move it's locked itself into. Man, I should have been smarter during prep. I should have just seen Gligar was a problem to this team and just carried ice coverage on everything, but I did not. The return's still going to do like 60% to Thunders, by the way. I do have Sludge Wave on it too, which is great. So, I mean, return or quick attack are their plays here. There is a Mega. Do we see a Stone Edge? Is my opponent a god? That is a return. That is not a Stone Edge. Nice. Doesn't do a terrible amount. So, I mean, here, I have to double predicting Gligar. That's literally what I have to do, because I won't be able to beat it otherwise. I have to double predicting Gligar or Coco. If Gligar comes in, which I think that would be their sack at this point, I cannot beat it from that point, so... They should not let their Pinsir go down. That would be a mistake. Yeah, I need to start getting in Mega Lopunny as often as possible. So I need to start here, get this play right. Hope that I somehow knock out Gligar from the percentage it'll be at, which I don't know if I do. I forgot how healthy it actually was. I just lost the game. No, I didn't. I would switch out first, right? Okay, they do switch out. Okay, so I get this one right. I need to hope that I knock it out from this position. Which, I mean, we're just going to see if I do or not. Worst case scenario, I would Roost, copycat the Roost back, and go from there. Can Empoleon take an Earthquake from the position it's in? Gligar. Kill, please. It's so fat, but he didn't recover it. He didn't recover it. Okay. Which means I think it's dead on entry, actually, isn't it? I think not recovering that thing could be the deciding factor here. Man, I'm gonna regret not hitting that high jump kick, aren't I? So their plays are Pinsir or Gren. I think I see the maneuver I can make here. If they go Greninja, I'm staying in. No, I don't think I can stay in. I sack off Landorus or something. So Empoleon here. Versus Greninja. At level 50. Okay, so I still can't kill Greninja even with my Grass Knot. Which means I need a bit more damage on that. I can win this game, depending on how they play their Greninja. Metabee comes back in. Goes down to half. I think this is where I sack off Landorus T. Okay, let me just make sure here. Does Thundurus actually take this? Thundurus against... Okay, so I have to switch out Mega Lopunny, that's a thing. Because if I sack it off, then I'm losing to Coco, so... If it's the up, I just gotta hope Thundurus can take it from 69. Which I think it can because of the Intimidate. Like, there's no way +1 to 69. Faint. Does that, like, out-prioritize or something? Like, Quick Attack? Is that what that does? We're not out of it yet, but it's... First of all, this game's been over 40 minutes. And... I don't know, I think, like, had I just prepped more, first of all, prepping more would have been helpful. Recognizing things, the Gligar sack. Yeah. Okay, Gligar's down. I think had they just roosted that thing would have 6-0'd me, but they did not. Pinsir is also dead on entry, by the way. That's the thing. So Greninja would come out here. I'm gonna do the assumption that this thing is Choice Scarf. And if it's not, I'm good anyway. So I think I see what I need to do here. I need to sack this off. I'll just go for U-turn. There's an Ice Beam. Now what I do is I go Empoleon. If they reveal that they're not Choice Scarf, I win anyway because of the fact that Mega Lopunny will outspeed Tapu Koko. Should be able to knock it out. Okay, come on, just don't reveal. Actually, best case scenario is they're not Scarf. That would be, like, amazing. So this is where the Pinsir sack happens. Interestingly, that's not what they decide to do. Okay, there we go. So here I surf. Hope it kills. It should kill. Without an issue. If it doesn't kill, I think I lose because of Scarf Greninja. Okay, come on, kill. Empoleon, be the MVP here. This is max special attack modest. This should kill, right? Goodbye. Okay. Is there an attack that Greninja can lock itself into if it's Scarf? Okay, if it's not Scarf, this Grass Knot's killing it. If it is Scarf, it depends on the attack. It's not Scarf. Empoleon? Okay, that's going to be GG. That was the most sloppy prep I've ever done, in all honesty. Pinsir comes in here and dies on entry, and that is going to be GG right here. So, I honestly thought I lost that at so many different points. The high jump kick miss was terrible, but we're able to actually come out on top 3-0. So Agility Empoleon pulls it through right here, and that is going to be that game. So I will save the battle replay. Super sorry about the whole stally early game thing. I was really not anticipating that, but that is going to be GG right there. So I did hope you all enjoyed, and I'll see you next time. Later.